The Democratic Republic of Congo has a complex and challenging history in terms of its economic, political, and social situation, including its past colonial dependency on Belgium. The Democratic Republic of Congo economy is rich in natural resources, including minerals such as copper, cobalt, diamonds, gold, and coltan, as well as vast areas of fertile land. However, the exploitation of these resources has been problematic. During the colonial period, when the DRC was known as Belgian Congo, the country was brutally exploited by Belgium, led by King Leopold II. Millions of Congolese were subjected to forced labor on rubber plantations and in ivory extraction, and many suffered horrific abuses. After independence in 1960, the management of the country's natural resources continued to be an issue. Recurring armed conflicts, corruption, and lack of adequate infrastructure have hindered the utilization of these resources for the benefit of the Congolese population. Additionally, the volatility of commodity prices in the international market has affected the country's economy, which remains one of the poorest and least developed in the world. The politics of the Democratic Republic of Congo have been marked by instability, conflicts, and authoritarian governments throughout its post-independence history. After independence, leader Patrice Lumumba was overthrown and assassinated in 1961. And Joseph Mobutu, later Mobutu Sese Seko, assumed power, ruling the country autocratically for decades. The transition to democracy in the Democratic Republic was turbulent, marked by civil wars and interventions by neighboring countries. In 2001, Joseph Kabila assumed the presidency after the assassination of his father, Laurent Desire Kabila. Joseph Kabila presided over a tumultuous transition period and, in 2006, was elected president in an election criticized for irregularities. After much international pressure, Kabila agreed not to seek re-election in 2018, and Félix Tshisekedi assumed the presidency in January 2019 in a highly controversial election. The social situation in the Democratic Republic of Congo is precarious for many of its citizens. Healthcare and education infrastructure is inadequate, and poverty is widespread. Lack of access to basic services, violence related to conflicts, and the spread of diseases such as Ebola and HIV/AIDS contribute to the country's social challenges. Additionally, the Democratic Republic of Congo has one of the highest rates of internally displaced persons and refugees in the world, due to ongoing armed conflicts. The Congolese population also faces human rights challenges, including abuses by armed groups and security forces, as well as restrictions on freedom of expression and assembly. During the colonial period, Belgium exercised control over what was then known as Belgian Congo. The brutal exploitation of natural resources and the exploitation of the people of the region marked this period. The extraction of rubber and ivory, often through forced labor and systematic abuses, caused numerous deaths and suffering among the Congolese population. The horrors of Belgian colonialism in the Congo were well documented and are considered one of the darkest examples of colonial exploitation in history. This colonial past left a legacy of trauma and instability that still affects the Democratic Republic of Congo today, contributing to many of the challenges the country faces in economic, political, and social terms.